So Andrea, how long have you guys been coming out here?
I think this is the 6th year here, and we had a stand also in Hay River before we came here, so they love it.
And what was sort of the inspiration behind, moving your whole family out here in the springtime?
Well, it's very practical for us because then we get off the lake when the ice is not good.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, it's like you said, it's a huge playground for the kids. We get to just spend a lot of time together. The school year and the year in general just gets really busy, and so it sort of slows us down, even though it's busy when we're out here, but in a different way.
Yeah.
And getting back to nature today.
And what time does the sun start to come up this time of year?
Well, it's been up for a while when I open my eyes, and we're usually up before 7 with the little guys.
Wow.
So
How late could you kind of be up and seeing things?
you could work all night and never be in the dark.
Wow.
The sun does go down, but it's just sort of a dusky kind of feeling, and you can always see.
So I noticed you guys have these beautiful canvas tents. What's it like
Yeah.
sleeping in a tent?
Yeah, it's lovely, and they have little wood stoves inside, and it's actually really nice. I mean, today, it's so warm, I'm wearing a t-shirt, but at night there's a bit of an edge to the air, so you have a nice little fire in there. And now one's in a hammock, we're in a bed, and my son is in another little bed, so we're just sort of, we're just fitting in there, just barely. You're always tripping over somebody's shoe, or,
Yeah.
where's my toothbrush?
Yeah.
That's definitely one of the challenges, but it's also nice, like to be with your family in one little space and really just be together, be that closely together.
I know you're an incredible violin player.
So I play violin / fiddle, depending on what the event is or what project I'm
Who the
doing.
crowd is,
Who the
yeah.
crowd is, that's right. And I also teach kids how to play fiddle.
Well, I would love to be a big kid right now and get a fiddle lesson from
Okay.
the Andrea Becker. I think it's so great that Andrea not only, is a mom and is helping out Mike with this whole birch operation, but she's also an artist.
Okay, so nice big space between 1 and 2. All right, here we go. 1, 2, ready, and. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1, 9, 9. Woo!
Well, if that doesn't scare away the bears, I don't know what will.
So, I've seen how to tap a tree with Mike and experienced firsthand the hard work that goes into collecting the sap and bringing it back to camp. But now I'm dying to know how this light, sweet birch water gets turned into thick, sticky, delicious syrup on a commercial scale.
I guess for a little while. Anyway, so this tank is almost empty. Oh,
Mike guides me from the quad that brought in the sap over to a big holding tank, and that's where the magic begins.
so if you come up here, you can see that this is filling up with sap. Yeah, once it sits in here at 1%, birch sap is like 1% sugar on average. Some's a little bit sweeter, some's a little less. Then we could either put it in the evaporator at 1% and it takes a month of Sundays to finish, or we run it through this time machine here, which is a reverse osmosis. And most people are familiar with reverse osmosis in their kitchen because it kind of purifies water, it gets rid of the impurities from water, and you keep the drinking water. But in our case, the impurities are sugar.
So you want that?
So we get rid of the water
Yeah.
and keep the impurities. So it's really like a really fine sieve, that's how I explain it, like a sieve like this that's so fine that it allows water molecules to pass through, but sugar molecules don't.
Stay behind.
So one tube here, the blue tube, is drinking the sap, and then it separates it into 2 other tubes. And one of the tubes is a concentrate, so it doubles the sugar concentration. If the blue tube drinks it at 1, it comes out at 2.
You're like separating the sap, and then you've got your camp's drinking water.
Right, exactly.
Awesome.
So what happens is the other tube puts the concentrate back in this tank. So once it hits about 6%, 7%, we pump it up into this tree stand here, this tank here, and you see there's a vinyl hose that kind of runs along this scraggly branch,
Yeah.
and then that drips through gravity into the evaporator. All right, so welcome to the Sugar Shack. This rickety contraption has been here for 7 or 8 years. It's the only thing we leave here at camp. The sort of agreement we have with the Yellowknives, Danny, is that we move everything out of here. One of the main differences between birch and maple syrup is the sugar. Birch contains fructose primarily, which is a simple sugar, and so it burns at anything over about 90 degrees Celsius. but maple is primarily sucrose, and it's a complex sugar that you can just pour the heat to and burn, just boil the snot out of it, and it'll just be fine.
So good.
So that's one of the main differences between the flavor, but also the process. In our case, we boil it. As I said, it comes in at about 5 or 6 to 7%. And then it runs through this machine and comes out at this pot right by Sadie at about 30%.
Ooh.
So it's not finished though. Syrup needs to be about 65, 66% so it won't spoil. At that high a sugar concentration, bacteria won't grow. So we finish it off on these double boilers so that you can see it steaming till it's reduced to 65 or 66%.
Wow.
And so then, as I mentioned, it comes out at about 30%. And so we have like these refractometers. So it has a prism.
Oh.
And
You like look through it?
yeah, so you put a drop of syrup on. Looks like we have some on from before. And as you look through here, the light refracts through the syrup in the prism and tells you the concentration of sugar. So this one,
No way.
yeah. So this one, if you look, there's a blue area and a white area, and where they meet is the sugar. So we're just under 30%.
That's amazing.
So that tells us that this is coming
Syrup
off at the
kaleidoscope.
yeah, really. So it tells us it's coming out at the right concentrations. That's the glamorous part. The other part is what Craig is doing over there, is washing buckets. I don't know if he's doing it right now, but there's a lot of washing to birch syrup making.
Oh, I bet.
If you like doing dishes, this is the perfect career for you. The other thing I don't know if anyone talked to you about is that we're pretty close to Giant Mine here, right? So we had our sap tested for arsenic,
Yeah.
and our sap came in at like 1/10 of drinking water standards, which is good. The syrup was also just recently tested and came in pretty good, like double drinking water standards, but no one eats sap like drinking water, so,
Yeah.
so it's okay. But
It's okay.
But people need to be careful, like, you know, food from the land is only as healthy as the land is, right?
For
so
sure.
we haven't done a very good job, and y'all have taken care of the land.
Well, thanks so much, Mike. It's been great to walk around and see how you guys are running this camp. It's amazing.
You see, it's a big team effort, so if you want to join the team,
Yeah,
make little money.
Bush Jim, go and get my pipes toned up.
That's
for
right,
the
no
summer.
showers.
Well, it's been a long day out here at the birch stand, and I'm starving. Jolliffe and Sadie helped me with one of my favorite campfire treats, bannock on a stick.
So, Jolliffe and Sadie, I am super excited to make some bannock. Do you want to make some bannock with me?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. And I hear you're an expert egg cracker.
Can I do it?
Do you want to crack an egg? Okay,
Yeah.
how about you each crack an egg? Good technique, yeah. There we go.
Can I do it?
Okay, and there's one little shell we'll get out of there.
One little shell.
Okay, your turn, Jolliffe. Normally, when we're making normal bannock, we're gonna put water in the batter, but
No, I
guess what this is?
What?
This is birch sap. So we're gonna put birch sap in our bannock instead of regular boring water, right? Okay, so how about you stir, Jolliffe, and I'll pour this in. You wanna give me a hand, Sadie?
Yeah.
There you go. There we go. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Stir, stir, stir. You wanna pour some water in?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Just a little bit. Nice, good job. So grab a bit towards you and squish it down. And we'll turn it, squish it down. Good job.
Can I help put it on?
Yeah, you wanna grab the bottom there and wrappy wrap. There you go.
It's really sticky, so it's kind of hard to wrap.
There you go. Nicely done. All right, you are ready to start roasting. Okay, Joff, shall we do your stick next? Oh, what do you got there?
I have birch syrup
Uh-huh.
and birch butter.
Who makes this birch syrup?
I don't know, but it's the best thing I've ever tasted.
It is.
And birch butter in this?
There you go.
What do you feel like, Sadie?
I want
that?
both.
A little bit of both?
I want both too.
You do, eh?
Would you like some birch butter?
I love some actually.
That may help you.
Just a little bit right there. Thank you.
Say, do you want birch butter?
A little bit for Tiffany.
Sadie and Jolliffe, you guys
Thank
were
you.
excellent hosts. I learned so much with you guys. And I'm so excited to, keep eating sap for the rest of my life because it's so good. So thank you so much for showing me around. I really appreciate it.
Pleasure.
You're welcome.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you, Jolliffe.
You want more birch butter?
Just go for it, yeah.
Okay. All right, there you go. You can eat that.
I need like, or a
There you go.
Thank you.
You on the bannock? You just gonna eat the birch butter.
I like where your head's at, Jolliffe.
There you
Now it's
go.
got the birch butter.